What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Just letting you guys know, we have rebranded a little bit. I changed the channel name from Illyrio Blackfyre to Wizardverse, just because we're going to be encompassing a little bit more of influence within other realms of the fandom, things in pop culture, things in other types of culture anyway, what I call culture curating, which basically just means any things that you like, becoming ambassadors for the things that you like, and basically trying to have opinions that help those communities. And why do people have certain opinions in those communities? I'm going to be doing things like having a Carnage reveal reaction video that's going to be coming up. I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures of Woody Harrelson. And yeah, just doing other things like The Witcher, other comic fandoms, movies, books, whatever have you. So we're kind of having a broader aspect on the channel. And then also, I'm Count Calderon, all aka Oberyn Blackfyre, but like I said, we're rebranding on that. So wanted to say welcome back to everyone. I'm still going to be doing some theory crafting on A Song of Ice and Fire. Definitely starting with this video today. And getting right into it, I know that the last time we spoke, it was years and seems like 84 years. Titanic reference. But anyway, no, truly, the last time we spoke, we're still waiting for the Winds of Winter, years later. And then also, the Game of Thrones show has now ended. That being said, I know a lot of people were just very, very disappointed by it. I, too, thought it was rushed. I'm not going to get too much into it because so many of the YouTubers, Gray Area, Quinn's Ideas, all of them, Joe Magician, all shout-outs, by the way. I feel like we all felt the same about what Season 8, and especially the last couple episodes, just really, really did not give the show what to do. It was supposed to be as epic as Breaking Bad, and it ended up being worse than Dexter. For any of you guys that have seen the Dexter series finale, just wasn't my cup of tea. I think that they definitely are going to have some reveals in the books that are going to be very, very different than what they did in the show, other than a couple of major things, of course. Didn't like it. That's all I can really say about it. I'll go into it probably more in a different video. But what I wanted to come to today was Illyrio Mopatis. He's a small figure in the series. Well, not small, but he's big. He's basically a walking mammoth. But he is not very known. He's kind of a shadowy figure. Yet he seems to be pulling a lot of the strings for people like Varys, for people like Griff and Young Griff, aka FAegon or Aegon Blackfyre, whatever you want to call him. I truly do believe that he is a Blackfyre. I don't know how they're gonna necessarily frame it. I think, going back to Illyrio, the only thing we really know about him is that he was a Bravo. That's supposedly how he and Varys met. Bravos exist in all the free cities, it seems. However, they seem to come from one place in particular. Bravos. I mean, Bravo, Bravos, Bravo, Bravos. Not that hard to connect. We know that he seems to be a relatively good one since he had a statue commissioned for him or made of him. Then we also know, and going on, that he basically has a spy network. Something that he and Varys created because Varys was so good at stealing and realized that secrets were more valuable than anything like money. So really what they don't have is it's basically like a vast conspiracy network, while also being kind of like the KGB and kind of like the CIA, to where they're ingrained seemingly everywhere. I mean, we know that Varys has little birds even in the north, which is pretty far and pretty desolate from King's Landing, so who knows, all we know that Illyrio has for sure went to King's Landing once. That's the only time that we know that Illyrio has been there. How much influence does he hold there? Well, we know that he holds a hell of a lot of influence because of Varys. We know that he sends Varys things like gold and the young kids that Varys train as mice or birds, what have you. But we don't know how ingrained he is within the sense of money-wise. He's vastly, vastly wealthy, and yet it seems that he has his fingers in a lot of pies, but not in the, well, he has his fingers in a lot of pies just in general, but it doesn't really seem like he is the front for all of them. We know that Daenerys and Viserys stayed in his palace for at least a couple of years. However, there's certain questions like, if he had power over Viserys and Daenerys, why didn't he just kill them in order to make way for FAegon, seemingly his son from Sarah? We know that from what Illyrio says himself, if you believe him, he was married to the cousin that was the Prince of Pentos. So he wielded power far before FAegon or Aegon came into the picture, because he didn't have him, presumably, until he married Sarah, which was from a whorehouse in Lys. So if he already wielded that much power and he was possibly a magistrate, then he was in a pretty good position to give FAegon and Aegon not only support, but things like sellswords, things like the 3 dragon eggs that he gave Daenerys. Why did he give the dragon eggs to Daenerys? But that's the part where I think that he didn't just give dragon eggs to Daenerys. He gave 3 petrified dragon eggs to Daenerys, or what he thought was. And even then, at the time that he gave them to Daenerys, Daenerys was such a scared little thing, and not the Khaleesi that we know now, that giving those dragon eggs to Daenerys was kind of de facto giving them to Viserys. Viserys was the one calling the shots between those two. Now, it could be the fact that he gave Daenerys to Khal Drogo and allowed Viserys to go with the Dothraki just because he knew that they wouldn't survive. I mean, especially Viserys. Viserys was a fool at that point. However, I think the original plan could have been that they were going to have Viserys go and take over the Westeros, or the Iron Throne, with whatever Dothraki screamers, and maybe even the Golden Company, because I do think that the Golden Company was always a part of this. And then maybe reveal Griff, or young Griff, and FAegon after Viserys had already conquered, because at this point, FAegon and Aegon would become Viserys' heir. I mean, if they're still playing that he's the son of Rhaegar, he would have had a better claim to the throne even than Viserys. However, I do think that they will reveal him to be a Blackfyre, because what's the point of all this? What's the point of all this vengeance and all this secrecy if you're not going to say, hey, he's a Blackfyre, we finally got you guys at the end? To me, that makes no sense. And also, another thing that proves that he's a Blackfyre is the Golden Company. We do know from a fact that Viserys and Dany fed the Golden Company in the banquet because Daenerys never remembers it, and she remembers the Golden Company laughing in his face. Why would the Golden Company all of a sudden want to help Daenerys now? Especially since they were literally created to fight against the Targaryens. The only difference is Aegon Blackfyre. He's the difference in here. And they need the marriage to Daenerys because that would be recombining the houses of the dragon. However, I think that there's also a different thing going on. From the sample chapter that we have of Arianne, we know that she's on her way to go meet the Golden Company and FAegon and Griff, because they have just freshly taken Storm's End and have basically taken all the Stormlands at this point. However, she stops at House Toland, the Tor, and one of the daughters there says she's having dreams of dragons dancing, and everywhere the dragons dance, people die. Now, a lot of people believe that, Daenerys is going to somehow give a dragon to young Griff, or to FAegon. I don't believe that's possible. I think that if Illyrio gave Daenerys 3 dragon eggs that he believed were petrified, he had to at least have given Griff 1 dragon egg. And my theory is that in the chests that he gave Tyrion, not only did they have court clothes, but they had a dragon egg and the sword Blackfyre to prove his legitimacy as blood of the dragon, but also in hopes that since Daenerys now has hatched dragons, maybe Aegon's dragon will hatch as well. And then that's how we're going to have, because I don't want to believe in the story that Daenerys has the monopoly on dragons. I think she's what starts the dragons coming back, but I think there's going to be too many unanswered things and too much forced rushing for the dragons to be allocated to like different people. Too many people need dragons in this war to make it even fair for it to be an actual true Dance of Dragons. Because in the Dance of Dragons, there was something like almost like 20 dragons that were at the start of that, and that's what made that a true Dance of Dragons. You can't have a Dance of Dragons 2.0 if like there's only 3 dragons and Daenerys owns 2 out of the 3, And that's only if the dragon horn works on one of them and Victarion actually gets lucky and not burnt to a crisp. And maybe even Euron gets lucky. Whoever, if they steal a dragon, Daenerys is still going to have two dragons. Not to mention the biggest dragon, which is Drogon. So there has to be more dragons within this story, I believe. And I think that Aegon or FAegon will definitely have one of them. He's definitely the mama's dragon for every intent and purposes. But I still do believe that he will have a dragon and ride a dragon. And also this leads me to my second point. A lot of people want to say that the advice that Tyrion